In today's episode, we'll build an almond-shaped nail. We'll show you how to extend the nail, what to pay attention to while filing, and we'll discuss which points of the extended nail are responsible for its durability. Hi, my name is Connie, and this is a channel dedicated to the art of nail styling. In today's episode, we'll show you the ABC of almond-shaped gel nails. The products and tools we'll use today are Base Coat Perfect Base, Gels Take Your Time and Easy Shape Light Rose, Gold Particle Infused Top Coat Top Model. We'll also need wooden sticks, Indigo Cuticle No. 9 bit, 100 to 180 grit file, 100 to 180 grit buffer, cleaner No. 1, acid-free primer, gel brush No. 6, as well as purple forms, nail tweezers and a double-ended mixing tool. The almond is definitely the most popular nail shape. It visually elongates the fingers, it's comfortable to wear, and suits most hand shapes. As always, before we start, we need to disinfect our hands. Then put on our single-use gloves and disinfect our client's hands. Using a wooden stick, we gently push the cuticles back. With the 180 grit side of a 100 to 180 grit file, we shorten the nail's free edge. We hold the file straight, not at an angle, to avoid damaging the hypernychium. Do you know what hypernychium is? It's the skin under the free edge of your nail, just beyond the distal end of your nail bed. It's also a barrier, protecting us from bacteria and microorganisms. People who like wearing long nails often end up with an overgrown hypernychium, which means we, as stylists, need to be extra careful not to hurt it. We cannot remove this bit of skin. We shouldn't prod it with a cuticle pusher either. We need to be very cautious, even when placing a paper form under the nail. It's very important because damage to this area will cause great pain and any bleeding can lead to an infection. We get rid of the corners created by the shortening of the free edge. We round them gently. If we don't do this, we won't be able to fit the form perfectly to the free edge. Using a 180 grit file, we mat the surface of the nail. We work using one side moving downwards, that is, towards us. Our model has very fragile cuticles, so we'll use the 180 grit buffer in that area. Then, we'll gently smooth out the whole surface. We remove all of the nail dust with a cupcake brush. We soak a pad in cleaner, then fold it in half, then in half one more time. And using pushing motions, we dehydrate the entire nail surface and all the nooks and crannies. We apply acid-free primer as if it were a regular nail polish, carefully covering the entire nail plate. We place a small drop of Perfect Base in the middle of the nail, and using gel brush No. 6, we rub it into the surface in circular motions. We cure it in the lamp for 60 seconds. Time to prep the form. We don't take the backing paper off before trimming the form. Thanks to this, it will not get stuck to our gloves. We tear the top perforation, pull out the egg, and measure the form up to the nail. We check how the form sits and how to adjust it. We'll certainly need side incisions to allow for the fingertip. Holding the scissors at an angle, we cut the form towards the letter I. We turn it around and cut out the teddy ears. We do the same thing on the other side. We check the form against the nail. It fits very well, rolls perfectly, and the fingertips are released. Only now do we detach the backing paper. We evenly stick together the first wings and the tip of the form, then place it under the free edge of the nail. We stick the upper wings to the finger. Set the angle of the form and continue sticking the wings shut, up until the dotted line. Before we stick the form to the end, we need to determine the desired length. We measure the length of the index finger, as in this case, it has to be the same length as the ring finger. It looks like the final length should reach number 3 on the form, therefore we stick the form shut 2 to 3 points further than that on the scale. We gently close the form shut under the finger. We shouldn't do it too firmly as the form could end up thinner than the nail. We'll build the frame using the Take Your Time gel. We pick up a bit of product and drop it onto the form. Using circular motions, we spread the gel and form the nail. We distribute the product so that every bit of space by the free edge is filled. We spread any excess gel across the natural plate, then cure in the lamp for 60 seconds. In this particular case, the auxiliary lines fit both the shape and the width of our model's nails, so we can do the so-called follow the lines. It won't always be the case. Sometimes our model will have a completely different nail shape, in which case we ignore the white lines entirely and place the product in the correct places freehand. Remember that the extended nail always has to follow the natural nail's growth line. We detach the frame from the form using the double-sided mixing tool until we hear that characteristic click. Then we detach the wings from the finger and gently pull the form down. We use a little bit of the Easy Shape Light Rose gel to create the slip layer, which helps even out the product by the cuticles. We pick up a bigger ball of product and place it by the lunula. Holding the brush at an angle, we push the material closer to the cuticles in pulsing motions. Then we form the apex and start the upper arch. Placing the brush flatter, we drag the product gently downwards. We work sideways using oscillatory motions. We add another portion of gel to the middle of the nail. We hold the brush perpendicular to the surface, but try not to touch the frame. We slowly pull the material in from the top and the bottom, then gently at an angle. It's important to hold the brush correctly. Placing it too flat will prevent the product from moving. Working too deep will touch the frame and brush strokes will be too chaotic. This will create ruts and holes on the surface, which will be hard to file down. Looking from the side, we construct the upper arch. We shape it in such a way that it gently falls from the apex towards the free edge. We freeze cure it in the lamp for about 10 to 12 seconds. We check if the material has hardened initially. Using a nail tweezer, we pinch the nail from the area where the natural nail ends and the extension begins. We hold it there for a moment, then move the tweezer towards the free edge. We cure it in the lamp for 60 seconds. We remove the dispersion layer using a pad soaked in wipe-off cleaner. Using the 100 to 180 grit file, we define the initial shape of the nail and even out the free edge. To check if the point of the free edge really sits in the middle, we turn the hand over and look at the shape from a different perspective. We even out the free edge so that it's symmetrical on both sides. Using the 180 grit file, we work on the hairline by the nail wall. We place the file slightly at an angle to avoid damaging the cuticles. Without pressing the file down, slowly, bit by bit, we gently shape the upper area of the nail. We remove the dust with a soft brush to clearly see the traces left by the file. Then we work on the side walls on each side of the nail. We cover the nail folds with our fingers so as not to damage the skin while working. We get rid of any excess material from the side walls of the nail. We work on an arch from the bottom towards the top. Then twist the finger and work on the other side in the same manner. We move on to aligning the hairline of the free edge. We file to the height of the apex with a scrubbing motion without removing the file from the nail surface. We work on the last shiny places we see with a rounding movement. We guide the file in an arch from one side to the other, then remove the created dust with a cupcake brush. The next step is smoothing out the whole surface. Using a file, we run circles across the whole nail to remove any scratches which could be visible during a light-colored application. We do the final polish using a 100 to 180 grit buffer. It doesn't take long and gives us certainty that the surface is perfectly smooth. To finish off, we even out the side edges. Using the more delicate side of the file, we lift the edge to the natural nail's edge level. We round any leftover rants, swinging the file gently to smooth them out. If we want to see if both sides are on the same level, we tilt the finger and check if the edges overlap. Side edges are a very important element of a nail extension. They are its structure and are responsible for its durability for the whole construction, which is why we can't afford to overfile them. Once the nail is shaped, we can remove the cuticles. To do this, we gently push the nail wall back using a wooden stick. Then we remove anything that sticks out with nippers. We secure the nail with a particle-infused top coat top model. We apply it at a slight distance from the cuticles and spread the top coat over the entire surface of the nail. To reach closer to the cuticles, we use only the edge of the brush bit by bit. Then we even out the line of light and cure the nail for 60 seconds in the lamp. Voila! The nail is ready! This is the final outcome of what an almond extension should look like. There are several elements that make up the perfect almond shape. The upper arch starts with a hairline by the nail wall and ends with a hairline at the free edge. The hairline is the area where there is the least amount of product. The highest point of the upper arch is the apex, which is responsible for the durability of the extended nail's construction. It should not be flattened or completely omitted when building the nail. The next element are the side walls on both sides of the nail. The edges are the scaffolding of the extension structure. If they're missing or we overfile them, we risk breakages. The tunnel is also responsible for the nail's resistance to all sorts of injuries and fractures. The next element is the stress zone. It's the area where the natural nail ends and the extension begins. This area is particularly prone to breaking. And that's all we have for you today. Let us know in the comments below if almond is the most commonly chosen shape amongst your clients, and maybe it's your favorite too. Remember, we're here every Wednesday. Thanks for watching. See ya!